I'm excited to share this session, Club Coaching 101. This is an introduction to one of the most impactful roles in Toastmasters because we're able to help struggling clubs become thriving and successful with sometimes within a matter of 6 months or to a year. So our theme is building stronger clubs, stronger leaders, and eventually a stronger district. This is not just a tagline. It reflects the ripple effect club coaching creates. Strong clubs empower members who then emerge as strong leaders and ultimately helping our district thrive. Whether you're exploring club coaching or already in this role, this session is for you. We'll look at what coaching is and what it isn't, why it matters, what kind of skills it builds, what's in it for me, how to get started, and where you're needed most in District 84. And we'll wrap up with some best practices, and hopefully there's plenty of time at the end of the session to address some of your questions. So before we get started, I would like you to take a brief moment and share in the chat, what do you think club coaching is? Lead and guide clubs, advancing clubs for better performance, support clubs with low membership, building back membership support, and seeing things from another angle. So lots of answers that kind of surround the theme of building membership and increasing or improving the health of a club. So let's get started with the basics. What exactly is club coaching? Club coaching is a support role for clubs that have 12 or fewer members. Remember this magic number, 12. You have to have 12 or less members to qualify for a club coach. These clubs are considered low in membership, and often they're struggling with some kind of energy, growth, momentum. A club coach is assigned to help them regain that momentum and to reach distinguished status or higher within a given time frame. But here's the thing. As a club coach, we are not there to take over. We are not replacing officers, or we are not there to run the show, to say. Our role is to be a partner, to be a guide, and a positive influence. Think of yourself as a mirror and a mentor. You help the club reflect on where they are and support them in making progress one step at a time. So quickly in the chat, just tell me how you can assess a club to know where they are. What tool or metric there is that's available to you that you can assess the health of a club at a given time. I see the DCP, I see the moments of truth, I see the club success plan, I see the dashboard, and these are all correct. If you're not familiar with any of these tools, just reach out to me and I'll provide links or access to the PDFs for any of those tools. So we help the club reflect on where they are, and we support them in making progress because we have to know where they're starting and where they want to be and how we can bridge the gap one step at a time. We're there to offer ideas, to encourage best practices, and model what a healthy Toastmasters experience looks like. And when we say healthy, what that means as club coaches, we have to attend meetings consistently and participate when called upon so we can model that experience for the members of that club. Sometimes it's helping those clubs connect with past members or revisit their goals. Often it's just about being present, being consistent, and being supportive. What's powerful about this role is that it's not just about helping the club. As leaders, we grow. We gain experience in leadership, in communication, in facilitation, and in team building. Many coaches say that they leave the program with more confidence, more empathy, and a deeper understanding of what it takes to lead by influence. Remember, we are not fixers, we're partners. We're not there to take over, we're there to be guides. So, in a nutshell, club coaching is all about helping clubs find their footing. And in the process, we are becoming stronger leaders. So, now that we know what club coaching is, let's talk about why it's such a valuable experience. And again, in the chat, if you can think about a club that you have attended that has 12 or fewer members, what are some of the signs you've seen that they needed help? A club that has 12 or fewer members, what are some of the signs you've seen that they needed help? Disorganized, dwindling membership, holding multiple roles, that is key. No visitors, last minute, lots of absences. Officers are not comfortable with website. There's a smorgasbord of uh, symptoms of not being healthy. Thanks for sharing. And we can get a lot of this, what you're sharing, in on the dashboard, looking at the moments of truth, assessing the club success plan, where they are from what they where they started. So let's move on. Uh, we'll talk about why this is a valuable experience, because we all are volunteering our time to help these clubs grow, but what's in it for us? From my experience, we build real leadership skills, starting with strategic thinking. We'll help the club set smart goals and track them using the club success plan. So that means at the beginning of the year, we have to have that CSP, the club success plan, completed. I think the district has a goal of the end of September that it has to be submitted to the district. But then we can have a mid-year check-in to see where we are, especially at the very last portion of that club success plan, of the people who the club has committed would have finished specific goals and pathways, and then revisit it near to the end of the Toastmaster year. So we'll also develop communication and facilitation skills. Instead of leading from the front, this is an opportunity for us to be at the back, to guide discussions, to ask questions, and to support teamwork. In my experience in the clubs that I've coached, I attend the executive committee meeting, and I really don't speak uh, because that's an opportunity for the club to run their business. But what I do is I provide the resources and make the connections that the club need to achieve some of the goals that they have set themselves in that meeting. I've learned about conflict resolution, how to navigate tension, mediate conversations, and how to coach through challenges. There several times there are problems. There are difficult people in a maybe in a club, maybe one or more people who don't want to get onto pathways. How do you encourage and mediate those issues? And eventually, we'll help build stronger teams by helping those clubs rebuild trust and shared purpose and a shared purpose. In short, we are here to achieve one of the main reasons why we're in Toastmasters, to become more effective leaders by helping others succeed. So, to be a coach, there are a few key requirements. Like many other things that we're involved in, whether you're in a contest or you're club coaching, you have to be a member in good standing. It means that your dues have to be up to date. Uh, we have to have some experience in the Toastmasters program. That means we have to be at least 1 year in Toastmasters and have served in an officer role. It does not matter what that role is, for 12 months. Or if your club is a 6 month, you have to serve two 6 month terms. And you have to complete at least 2 levels in the Pathways educational program. In addition to that, you have to complete the club coach training module in Basecamp. It's a free module that when you log in, it should be available there. It doesn't take 30 minutes to complete. I would recommend everyone, if even if you've completed it, just to revisit it. Clubs that are requesting coaches also have to complete this club coach training module. And you cannot coach a club that you are a member of, because we are familiar with the issues and just becoming one parcel of that club. So these are the requirements. There is a checklist in one of the resources that I will share at the very end. So now we understand what it takes to become a club coach. Let's walk through the steps for officially becoming a club coach. So we've confirmed eligibility, we've met all the requirements. The next thing to do is to express interest. On the website, there will be a District 84 JOT form that says, I'm interested in becoming a club coach. There is just a few questions that you have to fill out. This is one route. Then you can contact myself or the club growth director, Richard Orr, that you're interested in becoming a club coach. That's a second route. The third route is you attend a club meeting and you express interest to club leadership, and because the clubs have to request the coach before we can match a coach with a club. So that means even if you have an interest, clubs have to make that request. And then it's recommended that you attend these optional club coach cafes that will provide more information on various aspects of club coaching. So we've confirmed eligibility, we've expressed interest. Now it's time to get matched with a club. So if you fill out the JOT form and a club has not requested that you serve as their coach, it's recommended that the person that's interested, the aspiring coach, visit the club and then express interest to the leadership of that club, and also share with the leadership of that club that there is a club coach agreement that they have to sign, and that the person signing or an officer have to complete the club coach training module. Because if we send that form without that box ticked, or even if it's ticked and not completed, it will be flagged by TI and then returned, and it will delay the process of your appointment. So now you get matched with a club. It's easy for us to determine which club needs coaches. We'll share those clubs at the end, and that can be obtained through the dashboard. We have to submit an agreement that is signed by three parties. The first is the club coach. The second is the club requesting the club coach, so the president or another officer, and those parties have to complete the club coach training module, and then that form will be sent to me, and I will double check to make sure it has all those elements completed, and I will submit it to Richard, our club growth director, and he will advance that form to TI. And finally, once you're approved in at the TI level, you officially start your club coaching stint. From then, you assist the club in developing a club success plan, you guide the club to distinguish status. And what is new in the club coach program over the past year is you have to submit reports, a preliminary report, a progress report, and then final report. This is for us to ensure that you will you're meeting the needs of the club, and also that you're successful as a club coach, so we can intervene and make suggestions based on what you're telling us in those reports. So once you've been assigned as a club coach, one of the first things that we recommend that you do is to check whether the clubs have completed the moments of truth. And if they haven't done so, encourage them to do so. If they have, ask to review the report from that moments of truth so you can get familiar with their identified strengths and areas for improvement. The Moments of Truth is a very powerful tool for Toastmasters that help clubs reflect on the full member experience, from a guest first impression to meeting quality orientation, recognition, and beyond. It's designed to spark honest and constructive conversations by members of that club. So, as a coach, our role is to guide the club through this process. It's not to critique, but to help uncover what's working well and where there's room to grow. Encourage a spirit of openness and curiosity. Ask members what they're proud of and what they have liked to improve. When we do that, it builds trust and creates momentum for positive change. And you're not doing this alone. If you need support or want ideas on how to run a session, a full session, or an abridged version, a 20-minute version of the Moments of Truth, you can reach out to our District 84 Moments of Truth chair, that is Marta Vidal, and she has great resources and lots of experience that can help facilitate this process. So, one of the biggest ways a coach can help is by improving club meeting quality, because this is where everything starts. A guest walking into the meeting can tell in the very first 5 minutes or so if this is something they would like to invest their money and their time in. So, great meetings attract guests, it engages members, and builds momentum. So, as a coach, we're there to model best practices and guide others to do the same. So we start by helping the Vice President of Education plan well structured agendas ahead of the meeting so they're not spending time in that 1 hour to fill gaps on the agenda. That there is some tool used, whether it's FreeToast Host or an Excel sheet, or even if it's just an email thread that is used to develop an agenda a week or so ahead of the meeting, and encourage members to sign up for roles in advance. This can be done at the end of a meeting in the business portion. Show members how to keep meetings on time, focused, and fun. And you can do this by serving in the role of timer for a few meetings and set the example. Support officers in understanding their responsibilities. Encourage those officers to attend TLI. And even if they do attend TLI, you can have one-on-one conversation with them if it's email or a phone call. What their roles are, or what are some best practices for their roles. You're not telling them what to do, but you're sharing experiences from what you have seen work really well in other clubs. Sometimes officers, especially in newer clubs or new officers serving for the very first time, all they need is a little coaching on what their role actually involves and how to do it well. Encourage active participation. Uh, for members to volunteer whenever there's speaking opportunities available, especially pathway speeches, and encourage members to present pathway speeches so that they can get credit and clubs can get credit. So there are many ways on running very high quality club meetings. One important thing is focus on the evaluation so guests can see the high level of constructive feedback. Observe meetings. Highlight what's working and gently offer suggestions where improvement is needed. The way I've done this is not at the end of a meeting for all members or guests to hear. I send an email to a club on what can be improved or what I thought can be improved based on my experience. Don't forget that you can introduce tools like agenda templates from other clubs. You'll get some of this at TLI. So I encourage all coaches to attend TLI so they can get these tools as well. Role description handouts. These are things that are available online. You can Google and find and send to club offices. And one thing is always celebrate progress. If the club starts meeting on time for a whole month, celebrate that win. Encourage them, congratulate them. Every time a member gets a level in pathways, celebrate that win. When a new member presents an icebreaker, celebrate that win. When a member sponsored a guest who becomes a member, celebrate that win. At the end of the day, quality meetings are the heartbeat of a strong club, and your support here will go a long way. One of our main goals as club coaches is to build membership because even the best run meetings, no matter uh, if there's the best run club meetings, won't matter if there's no one there to experience them. And someone mentioned in the chat that sometimes clubs have multiple people filling multiple roles, sometimes three, four roles. So we need members that can only have a singular role and encourage everyone in the club to participate. So as a coach, we'll work with the club to understand what's going on with their numbers. Again, the dashboard is our friend. Our guests who are attending but not joining are long-term members drifting away. So we start by helping them analyze trends, and there's Marshall Tools that has been tracking for the past 15 years or so membership trends. So we look at attendance, we look at membership retention, and then we try to strategize why are people drifting off. And this will be unique from club to club because the culture is different from club to club. So from there, focused on guest follow-up. Ensure that guests, the vice president of membership, is taking notes of members' email addresses or telephone numbers and are following up. Maybe help them put together a membership packet, even if it's a virtual one, that they can and review, help them review it, something that they can forward to the guests immediately after the meeting is over. And encourage the club to reach out very quickly and send a thank you email and invite those guests again to attend the next meeting so they feel as though they're welcome. Also, help the club refresh their marketing efforts. This could be as simple as updating their flyers, creating a Facebook page, or sharing ideas what they can do or what they can post on or how they can post on their Facebook page by capturing the essence of speeches, maybe the word of the day. And a lot of these other ideas will be shared as Club Coach Cafe progresses during the year. And also take advantage of Meetup that the district has, how we can update and keep a conversation going on Meetup to attract that demographic. Support the vice president of membership who may be overwhelmed or just don't know what to do. Share ideas with them on how to track prospects. I think now we can do that in Free Toast Host when there is a guest or uh, potential somebody inquiring about Toastmasters. It is centralized on Free Toast Host, and then we can communicate with those guests. And don't forget about past and inactive members. Sometimes a friendly invitation, especially for an open house, is all it takes to bring someone back. Again, in the context of understanding the club culture, why these people have left. Membership growth doesn't happen overnight. Just as coaches, we have to understand this. But with consistent follow-up and fresh new ideas, clubs can absolutely turn things around, and you'll be right there to help them in that process. So once new members join, the next challenge is keeping them. And that's where retention and recognition comes in. As a club coach, let's help those clubs create a culture of appreciation. That means celebrating milestones. Whenever a speech is completed, celebrate it. Serving as Toastmaster for the first time or hitting a membership goal, celebrate those accomplishments. Simple things like a certificate, a shout out during a meeting, or a social media post can go a long way in making people feel valued and a part of the club, a part of the organization. Encourage the clubs to keep track of member progress. There are tools to do this. There's a pathway tool to keep track of speeches that members have presented. There's an Excel tool that people can use to keep track of members' progress. If someone hasn't given a speech for a while, check in. Ask how you can support them or if they need help with navigating Basecamp. Seeing that Basecamp has recently given a makeover. Also remind clubs to recognize officers and their efforts, not just at installation, but throughout the year. Everyone likes to feel that their contributions, no matter how small, that it matters. A big part of coaching is helping clubs see beyond the next meeting. That's where vision and planning comes in. At the very beginning, start by asking the club what kind of club you want to be so you can understand the culture. What are they focusing on? Some clubs want to be a training ground for leaders. Some advanced clubs want their clubs to have the next district champion, whatever it is. Some focus on storytelling, speech contests, professional development. Help them define that vision together. It gives everyone a shared purpose. Then guide them in creating a club success plan. Not just to check those boxes for DCP, but to set meaningful, achievable goals and align those goals with what matters to members. And this is where working with the VPE is important, that the club success plan is kind of aligned with the schedule to ensure the people who need to accomplish XYZ goals are scheduled to give speeches at a frequency that would allow them to achieve those goals. And then support the clubs through mid-year and end-of-year reviews. If they're not doing that, encourage them, ask them to do it. It can be at a club meeting or it can be at an executive committee meeting. Or you can also ask to be on the agenda and you can share a review. So I would like to end this part by sharing some best practices. Now that we know what coaching involves, let's look at a few of these best practices that will help you lead effectively as a club coach. First and foremost, build trust. Before we start making suggestions or improving tools, spend time getting to know the club and its members. Listen more than you talk at the very beginning. Just listen and meet very early with the club officers. Ask to attend those club executive meetings. Understand their goals, their challenges, and also their personalities. We're dealing with people. This will help us tailor our coaching approach and build a strong working relationship. I cannot overemphasize show up to club meetings consistently. Attend meetings regularly, whether it's the general weekly, bi-weekly, monthly meetings or the executive committee meetings. Our presence builds trust and shows that we're invested. If you cannot attend all meetings, encourage the club to seek a second coach so they can attend when you're not there. At least the club coach should be present at most of the meetings. Encourage the club to complete and use their club success plan as a tool. Treat it like a roadmap, not a formality to tick check boxes. And keep revisiting it throughout the year to stay on track. Don't underestimate the value of small wins. Celebrate progress, as I've shared over and over. However small, a well-run meeting, a successful open house, a new member joining, these things boost morale and momentum. And then model Toastmasters excellence in how you communicate, how you give feedback, and how you attend meetings. Be the Toastmaster you want that club to be. Your example often speaks louder than advice. At the same time, respect the club's autonomy. We're there to provide support, not to take over. We're not fixers. Let the club make decisions, even if they're learning through trial and error. Finally, stay connected to the district leadership, especially your area and your district, your division directors. Keep them in the loop and lean on them when you need support because they also want to see these clubs succeed. And of course, as a best practice, you have to submit your reports on time. It helps us track progress and gives visibility to the great work that you are doing in the district. Let me just check on the time. Oh, we have not a whole lot of time left, but I will rush through this. I just want to have us to look at the District 84 coaching dashboard. So we currently have 128 clubs in total. And out of those clubs, 40 clubs have 12 or fewer members. That means almost a third of our clubs qualify for a coach. Right now, 22 clubs have coaches, and some of those have already started seeing results. 8 have achieved distinguished, or higher status in the previous year. That's 24-25 Toastmaster year. So that's a strong reminder that coaching works. We were able to improve membership and the quality of the meetings and experiences for members in 8 clubs. I would like to give a shout out to these clubs and their coaches that have achieved uh, President's Distinguished, Select Distinguished, and Distinguished status over the past year. But guess what, coaches? 18 clubs in our district still need coaches. So there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of areas for us to grow as Toastmasters and as coaches. So in this slide, and I'll share this presentation with the team, these are the 18 clubs that currently need coaches. You may be familiar with some of them. I have them by division and area here. It seems like every single division has a club that one or more club that need coaches. This is based on the dashboard today. The realignment has not been posted. It should be in 25-26 realignment has not been posted yet. So things may shift a little. Clubs may shift to different divisions. But there is an opportunity for us to exercise those coaching muscles by volunteering, providing our expertise, on honing our skills by serving as coaches in these clubs. So the key takeaway here is club coaching is about service, it's about support and making these clubs sustainable by improving their membership and improving the quality of experience for our members. And it comes from partnership and being consistent and communicating effectively with club members and leaders. There are lots of resources available. We'll learn more about them as time progresses.